creative geniuses, open source advocates, research giants, entrepreneurs. As the founder of Open Source Scientists, it has been my privilege to work with all of them. But due to recent events, I can no longer effectively lead them. Recently, I open-authored the condemnation of the Russian government's imprisonment of the scientists responsible for MIBO 4. I stand by our remarks, but the Russian government is no fun to play politics with anymore. And so, since Tanuki is always an option, I, Thomas Ubiquitous, nom de jeu Infrarad, am immediately resigning my position as Mission Director of Open Source Scientists. But before I go, I'd like to share with you my reasons for believing in open authorship. I want to start a discussion on what open authorship really means. And finally, I'd like to challenge you to help me shape the next decade of open collaboration. I started Open Source Scientists in late 2008. The market was crashing. The phrase Second Great Depression was occasionally being used. And the words martial law had been uttered on the floor of the United States House of Representatives. It was a very scary time. My calling is in mathematics, education, and art. And I realized that I was going to have to get much smarter about how I used my time and about how I got paid for it. You see, as food prices rose and supply chains became weaker, I realized that I wasn't going to have time to work with outdated industrial-era models of education. I wasn't going to have time to polish every idea before releasing it. I realized that soon most of my time would go to the simple problems of living, producing food, cooking meals, and caring for my loved ones. Now, those were my reasons for believing in open authorship. But anyone who promotes, uses, or is studying open source and open methods of collaboration has their own reasons. This leads me to my invitation. I invite all open source scientists to post stories about their experiences in open collaboration. Furthermore, I invite all SEHIs to ask any open source scientists you know about their successes, their failures, the benefits and drawbacks to working collaboratively. We need more voices to determine what the next steps are in open collaboration, be it in business, technology, education, academic research, or in culture. Open source scientists have advocated for open collaboration for more than 10 years. But advocacy is no longer enough. Ideas are not medicine. Ideas are not food. Ideas are not government, or energy, or shelter, or infrastructure. We need action. But collaborative action on a grand scale requires specific, well-defined missions. It is only through specific missions that we'll be able to inspire people to use their own talents for our common goals, without relying on outdated 20th century ideas about centralized authority and organization. And so, my first challenge to you. Write the next mission statement of Open Source Scientists and send it to Infrarad on the main SEHI site. On Friday, October 24th, I will personally select the most audacious, the boldest, the most brilliant, most half-baked, most collaborative submission, the one that I think can bring the most people together for the most potential. The winner will replace me as Mission Director of Open Source Scientists. My second challenge. GS has charged me with awarding an Open Authorship Super Badge. This is too much responsibility for me, so I've decided to open author the judging process. And therefore, I challenge the Superstruct gaming the system to award this badge in whatever way they see fit, using whatever standards, voting procedures, or metrics that they adopt. And my final challenge. I may be taking myself out of the judging, but I'm not taking myself out of the competition. That's because I believe that I can find my strongest competitor and give him or her my strongest organization and still out-collaborate all of you. So I look forward to hearing the discussions, reading your submissions, and to working with all of you. But I'm coming back for my badge. Ready, set, go.